Good evening, everyone. It is 7 o'clock on Monday, February 3rd, 2025, and I call this regular City Council meeting to order. I would like to thank everyone for joining us this evening online, or maybe, they're invisible. Would you please join me for the flag salute? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. It looks like everybody is present this evening other than the mayor and Angela. So I would like to, I did note it, and that's enough, okay. And also we have Directors Madden and Robeck and the Chief. And now we move on to citizen participation. And the purpose for citizen participation or public comment period during this period is for those wishing to address the council on any matter. It is not intended for debate and discussion with the public. As seen that nobody has signed up and nobody's out in the audience, we shall move on to the additions and deletions. Are there any requested additions or deletions of this agenda? Seeing none, we will move on to the consent agenda. Does anyone want to pull an item off the consent agenda for discussion? Seeing none, then may I have a motion to accept the consent agenda?
I'll make a motion to accept the agenda as presented.
Second? I'll second.
It has been moved by Councilmember Strader and seconded by Councilmember Whalen to pass the consent agenda as presented. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 7-0. And now to our regular agenda, of which we only have one item. It is Resolution 1984, surplus of the police equipment. Chief Hernandez will provide a review of this agenda bill. And following this review, I will need a motion to open the floor for discussion.
Evening, Council. Yes. Tonight, I have an agenda item, Resolution 25-1984, and I am asking Council to authorize the surplus of a 2013 Ford Taurus that suffered major engine failure. It was recommended that the long block of the vehicle be replaced, and this is the Ford Taurus. And it's one of those things we've talked about in the past, that we try not to maintain vehicles that are old, and it costs more to maintain them than the value of the vehicle. So I'm asking for council to authorize us to go ahead and surplus that vehicle tonight.
I'm going to move to approve Resolution 25-1984, declaring obsolete police equipment to be surplus and authorize the disposal of same, which of course is listed in the agenda item.
Second?
So to repeat the motion, the motion was made by Councilmember Whalen and seconded by Councilmember Hall to move to approve Resolution 25-1984, declaring obsolete police equipment to be surplused and authorizing the disposal of same. Councilmember Whalen, would you like to speak on your motion?
No, I'm glad to upgrade equipment at any time we can, especially something that's as old as this is, and something new is better.
Councilmember Hall?
Ditto.
Very good.
No, there's no purpose of keeping it.
All right. Any more discussion?
Oh, I would just like to thank the chief for making that vehicle last a very long time.
try.
So seeing that discussion has, or I should, to be fair, anyone else? So seeing that discussion has concluded, it was moved by Councilmember Whalen and seconded by Councilmember Hall to move to approve. Oh, members of the audience, would you like to speak on that? Okay. Thank you. No, we're good. To approve the resolution 25-1984 declaring obsolete police equipment to be surplus and authorizing the disposal of same. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Passes 7-0. Now we're going to be going into executive session, and it is 7:06, and the city council will now go into executive session for RCW 42.30.110 to discuss with legal counsel representing the agency litigation or potential litigation to which the agency, the governing body, or a member acting in an official capacity is or is likely to become a party when public knowledge regarding the discussion is likely to result in an adverse legal or financial consequences to the agency. The meeting shall be approximately 15 minutes, and legal representation will join us virtually. We are back from executive session, and following our discussion in executive session, Councilmember Cedar would like to make a motion.
Thanks, Mayor Pro Tem. Based on the discussion in the executive session, I move to authorize the city attorney to file counterclaim against Reed Trucking and against Reed Trucking surety in current pending litigation.
Second.
Being that it's from, would you like to speak to your motion?
I think that the city has an obligation to maintain its position in this construction lawsuit. And I think filing counterclaim and making a claim against the surety is important.
Councilmember Strader?
Nothing to add.
So the motion has been made by, do I have to read it verbatim? No. The motion made by Councilmember Strader and seconded by, Councilmember Cedar and seconded by Councilmember Strader. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes 7-0. Now we're on to council reports, and if I were sitting over there, I guess I would go first. All I have is, I appreciate this is to Director Madden. I appreciate the proactive application of a de-icer to the roads. That's been great, especially around the roundabout and on Porter Way. I know a lot of people, and a lot of people to me have said that they appreciate that you can even see, where they've laid down the de-icer, and it makes a world of difference.
Thank you.
And that's all I have. Councilmember White?
Nothing for me, thanks.
Councilmember Peretti?
Nothing for me.
Nothing for me?
I just wanted to address the email that we received from a citizen around the 380th, the Parkview area. He was concerned that they weren't getting any de-icing done around their streets. I believe you were included on that, and I just was wondering what your comments were.
Yes, the team to date has been focusing on the snow removal map generated through our GIS program, which focuses on minor and major arterials. We will expand that tomorrow. We had 3 vehicles out de-icing and sanding today, and we will expand that into Hill Creek tomorrow afternoon.
Very good. Thank you.
Councilmember Hall?
None.
Councilmember Whalen?
Thank you very much. And I just have a curious question, if you don't mind. Recently, the Olafson Estates Park, we've had a discussion about it and so forth. Is there an update or where it's a standing? Was everything accepted that we talked about? What's the present day status? Is everything okay? And I only ask that because I think we should just have a little follow-up on things that we do. Because that was supposed to be clarified by the end of the year.
I haven't gotten any information, or,
But it's just something to talk about and so forth, just to give us a status update on that. For some reason, I was reading
I did talk to the mayor, and she said she hadn't heard back on it.
well,
That was about 2 weeks ago.
yeah, and we haven't heard back on it and so forth, and I'm just looking at a 2013 study session. Paperwork that I've had and so forth, and I just wanted to ask to see if we can get an update soon. Nothing urgent. I'd just like to know.
thank you. Now to director reports. Director Madden?
Speaking about the park, we have not received, that I'm aware of, any communication from the landowners to date. It wouldn't prohibit us from entering future negotiations, but there has not been correspondence.
Okay, so it's our position has been made clear, but we haven't heard or if any other changes and so forth. So what we did on the end of December, we're still waiting for an answer for that material.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
The team is out working hard. They were here at 7 a.m. this morning for our safety meeting, and we reviewed tie-down techniques, and then they were off and running, de-icing. And so we actually had a crew here at 4 a.m. this morning. So I appreciate council's gratitude, and I will let them know, and they'll be grateful for that. That's all.
Thank you. Chief, to you.
Just to let you know, we still have 2 pending death investigations of one juvenile and 1 baby. We're still waiting to determine the cause of death on those 2 active death investigations. Car thefts still continue. Matter of fact, last night, a small world, Ruston officer who lives in the city of Milton was coming home, observed a black Charger on the side of the road, ran the plate, came back stolen, went to contact the individual, punched him in the face, and fled. And so that resulted in a canine drone, but we were not able to apprehend the individual, but we have identified him. And so we'll be on the hunt for that individual who has multiple warrants out of multiple jurisdictions. Let's see what else we got. Jim Sarf was promoted to sergeant, and so he will be the new sergeant, but he's still recovering from his torn shoulder and bicep. But we're getting him all trained up, so he'll be ready to go as soon as he is healed, hopefully in March. Our 2 trainees are in phase 3, are doing just fine. So we expect no problems with that. And we just hired our other officer for our last position. So we're fully staffed, but still have Officer Haney, Officer Sarf, and then we just had Officer Crochet, who cut his hand on a drone, was assisting Fife. And then, so we're still down 3, even though we're fully staffed. And we assisted Fife with a homicide on Friday. They were busy trying to catch the individual who had stabbed another individual. And our officers went to the aid of the victim. And that person had been stabbed in the face about 11 times. And so while our officers were rendering aid, he expired and passed away. And so we'll be doing a critical incident debrief for those officers that were attempting to save that individual's life and then passed away. And I'm still working on the camera project with the attorney, so I'll be bringing something back to council with the new legislation to make sure that we are in compliance. And then I'm also working with Transpo, our engineer traffic that did our traffic program for us for the city of Milton, the traffic calming program. And so I'm working with them also for our equity report so that we are also in compliance with state requirements that were passed last year. And I've got a couple of e-bikes that I'm in the process. We've done some competitive bidding. We've got a winner, and I'll be buying the 3 e-bikes with drug money. So e-bikes paid by drug dealers. That is about it. So the big takeaway is criminals do not know boundaries. And so just because this is Milton and we think of ourselves as the village on the hill, always keep your head on a swivel, always pay attention. I forgot to mention our porta potty was blown up again at the skate park. This time there was an individual in the porta potty. We believe he was a homeless individual. We haven't been able to, he has gone to the wind. We did identify him, but individuals in the camera footage roll up, see that there's someone in there, then they dropped a mortar down the tube and blew the porta potty up with him in it. So if we find out who they are, they'll be charged with assault and vandalism. And that's all I got for now. We continue to work on but trying to educate our misguided youth about riding their e-bikes and motorcycles throughout the city. And we continue to attempt to apprehend them when we can get them to stop.
Just a question for you. Since Elaine and I are out now walking quite a bit every day, we've noticed these kids out, especially right when middle school gets out. And that, do you want us to call or anything? Because
Yes.
we see it, and
Yep.
it's like,
Yep. Because if you call and we get the call from 911 timely, and there happens to be an officer down the street, then that helps us.
Okay.
Or if you get a good description, or if you get a picture of them, we've been able to identify some of them through photographs and go to the parents.
Okay.
So, because our fear is it's going to end up, we know it's a matter of time before there is a serious accident with these kids. And so we want to get them stopped. And something that we might think about as a council too is bringing back the helmet law. We used to have one when I first started, and then it went away. And so again, protecting people from themselves.
Yeah. Okay. Appreciate that.
Thank you, everybody, for good work tonight. Oh, one more, okay.
Don't forget, we got criminal justice meeting coming up in February. So if you were one of the council men or women that put yourself on it, don't forget.
Thank you. And anything else this evening? So seeing that all agenda items have been concluded, I adjourn the meeting at 7:55. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I tried to get your vision
I
and
know,
so
I
forth
was-
and so forth. Just the situation at the skateboard park and the explosive and so forth. Is it anything else known about it? Were they tracking somebody? Was this an intent towards somebody? Do we have anything?
We don't believe they were tracking anybody. We think that they were just looking to blow up a porta potty, and for them, it ended up being a bonus that somebody was in there, not realizing that they could really cause bodily harm to the individual. Because the person ended up being covered in all of the contents of the porta potty, so they still might suffer harm at a later time.
Yeah, bad experience. But
Yeah.
just to cover that a little bit more, I saw the
Facebook?
Facebook,
Yeah.
the numbers. Did the pictures you have any better than the ones we see on Facebook? If not, do we need to improve those?
I'll look at see if the resolution can be improved, or maybe we go to hard copies and then we can post those, or hand them out to council or whatever, or make them more available. But yeah, I'll look at the resolution.
It's only because the broader the audience in the city that sees it, reads it, or has access to it, because not everybody's on the Facebook and so forth, I think it would do us well to get that information out to a broader audience.
Yeah, we can also reach out to Crime Stoppers. They've been pretty good, David Rose, about putting our stuff on their TV show. And so, yeah.
Good.
Just another point, I'm associated with a few of the bus drivers for Fife, and they actually have a board down there at the bus transportation station that they post pictures of sexual, predators and different things. And I even asked them, do you get pictures of, because I saw the post and said, hey, could this be something? Because those bus drivers are around everywhere. And if they see something, they can radio right in and say something, So that might be something to look at if Fife could partner with us or somehow with that board down there with the bus drivers that are all over the place.
Yeah, definitely. We'll look at giving them a BOLO poster. We do work with the schools quite a bit when we need to identify. If we clearly know it's a juvenile, a lot of times we'll go to the school and can you help? And a lot of times they're like, oh yeah, that's Billy or Joanne or whatever. So yeah, we do work with them, but the bus barn, that's a good one. I'll look at putting something together for them. Because again, it's always about, like I say, see something, say something, force multiplier. The more eyes and ears, the better off.
I adjourn the meeting at 7:58 PM.